See, this ain't for the kids. I don't know what to tell you. This one for y'all. Whoa! Boom!
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Playground Podcast. I go by the name on Smash. Call me Smash for short. Today, I got Curvy Mary in the building. Let's get it. Curvy Mary in the building. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I ask her the first question, which is, how did you get into the industry?
I started OnlyFans during COVID. So I was looking for a way to make some money because my income had gone the toilet. I was doing real estate.
Right.
And, everybody seemed to be doing OnlyFans, making money off of that. And
Of course.
I started doing OnlyFans.
Makes
2 months
sense.
later, doing hardcore scenes.
So 2 months later.
2 months
she just
later.
jumped right to it, like, fuck
Yeah.
it. Nah, that's dope. Okay, so I got to ask, like, what's the pros and cons, you know what I'm saying? So it seemed like you probably just started this, what, like a year and change now? Or it's been,
Almost
like,
2 years exactly.
Almost 2 years? All right, cool. So, like, what's the pros and cons so far from, you know what I mean, just the transition, everything? Like, what's the pros and cons, do you feel like?
I think the thing that most people don't consider is how their lives are going to be affected, especially their relationships.
That's important.
Yeah, like it's, how it's going to affect your family, your friends, because people are going to find out no matter what. It happens sooner or rather than later, usually, but
Yeah.
it's something that people need to understand ahead of time, that people are going to find out, and you need to know, having that conversation, what you're going to say.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's crazy you say that, because that's definitely was going to be one of my questions, like, as far as the family is concerned, relationships and stuff like that, I was going to dive into that. So, as far as relationships, did you have a relationship when you first started doing it, and was he okay with it, or you got into a relationship after, or you had a relationship, like, what was it?
I was married when I first
shit.
started.
You said married.
Yeah, and he was okay with it at first, but, he, like, when the reality of it really struck him, he wasn't super into it anymore.
Right.
And, our relationship ended when, during a fight, he decided to tell my dad that I was doing porn. So I could never trust him again after that.
Something like that. I have you. Yeah, that would. So it's. Do you think some of that probably also played a part as far as like other people in his ear, from them knowing about you, or you don't feel like none of his people knew about you? It just came from him personally. Obviously, came from him personally, just feeling some type of way. But do you think like outside influences also affected him?
I don't know, because it was after he told my dad is when he told all his friends and his family what I was doing. It was like he's kind of like trying to like dig the grave as deep as he could. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks. Well, you know what I'm saying? You here now, and it seems like, you know what I'm saying, you got a smile on your face, and you in a decent place in your life and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I would ask you, what would have been one of your best scenes?
I think one of my best scenes was when I did Curvy Mary Kay, where I was a makeup artist who was seducing her client.
Okay, a makeup artist seducing a client.
I like doing puns with my name, so
Okay.
yeah, Mary Kay. I can't be the Avon lady.
Now that's cool. So was the person a girl or a boy? Because I know
It
you're
was a
bisexual,
girl.
right?
Yeah, I'm bisexual.
Cool, bisexual, you know what I mean? Salute to all the bisexual women out there. We fuck with y'all, we support y'all on this network. You know what I'm saying? Never get it twisted. And we support the thick, you know what I'm saying, voluptuous as well. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you stay tuned with us. But you said she was a woman?
Yes.
All right, cool. And like, how did that scene, if that was your best scene, like what was like the favorite part of the scene? Like what really made you feel like it's the best scene? The overall scene, looking at it after the fact, like, damn, this came out fire? Or like something happened in between where you was like, nah, I really fuck with this girl, like.
Well, it was the chemistry, because we already were friends and we'd already been kind of wanting to like get together off camera anyway.
Okay.
So
yeah,
like it was our first time doing anything together, doing that scene, and so it came out fire because we were so both into it.
Right. That makes sense. So is there anything that you would I would say more so like information or anything to be aware of for people that want to get into the industry, or you know what I'm saying, want to do anything in those lines of work, besides the fact that making sure that you know that everybody around you gonna find out and they're gonna feel some type of way? Is there anything else? Like, it could be anything from like keeping yourself protected, or anything like what would you say to anybody coming up in that industry?
be ready to invest a lot of money getting started because you need to pay to get tested. I mean, if you're out of one of the main testing areas, there's like New York, Miami, and Vegas where you can get tested for $190.
What?
But anywhere else, you need to pay for the shipping for it too.
Okay.
So it'll be like $250+
The
to
shipping?
get tested, and you have to do it every 2 weeks while you're actively shooting.
So when you say shipping, like what you mean? Because
they ship your samples to the TTS places to get it tested for your full STD panel.
And TTS is like what? Because
it's the talent testing service.
I didn't even know it. You know what? But it makes sense if it's an industry. You know what I'm saying? They got to make sure they abide by certain rules and stuff like that. So, excuse me. So as far as like the other, that's a bad way to put it. I'm just gonna move on to the next one because like I really don't know all of the terminologies you're using and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I gotta ask, do you use toys?
Yes.
Okay, I would assume
on
so.
and off camera.
On and off camera. I would assume like at least like what percentage of women on the earth do you think probably use toys? Like
anyone who masturbates. Anyone who masturbates, yeah.
Ladies, y'all got all the toys in the world, the best toys. And speaking of toys, by the way, for my niggas, you know what I'm saying? For my fellas out there that don't really have a girl that, you know what I'm saying, he got close by him all the time. Or even if you got a girl that you got close to you all the time, but you just want those extra nuts every now and then without her being around and shit, I got something for you. Now, before you check this out, the O-Touch, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you know your size or your slinky. You know what I'm saying? Because if your shit don't fit, you'll be tight. You know what I'm saying? So check this out when you get a chance, fellas. It's valid, nice, different, you know what I mean, suction cup vibes, all types of crazy shit. But this is like, I guess, a male product that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men can use and shit. But
men don't need to be ashamed to use toys.
That's what I'm saying. And I want to make sure y'all understand that and shit. Even if niggas say, oh, nah, that's some wild shit. Nah, you could be getting mad pussy and still use a toy. You know what I'm saying? You could be a sex addict. So do you feel like you a sex addict at all?
No, I'm just someone who's in control of my sexuality. Like I feel like I really understand, like, and I've discovered more about myself from doing porn. But
things like what?
That I'm an exhibitionist.
Yeah,
and I think in order to do porn, you generally need to be an exhibitionist because otherwise it's like, what the fuck is someone doing in here with a camera watching us have sex?
Right.
You have to be into that, or at least okay with it, and generally that's an exhibitionist.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And obviously this is going to be a popular question all the time, but what's your favorite category of sex to like get into? Oh, matter of fact, even better, what is one that you haven't? Because you're still kind of early in the stages a little bit, I would say. But I'm sure like the experiences don't make you feel like you're early in the stages and shit like that. But what would be something that you want to do on camera that you actually watch on your spare time that you haven't done?
I would really like to do a gangbang. I want to get paid for it though. It's really hard to organize a free one because every guy is not going to show up unless they're getting paid.
Word, that's how it works? Nah, really?
Yeah, because there's too much like infighting between people in the industry, and unless you're getting paid, you're less likely to show up. And if you are trying to like get that many people in a room, you need to make sure you're paying them, otherwise they're not going to show.
Yeah, okay. I would say that makes sense because, you know what I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. But so you would never get like a dude or a set of dudes that you know personally or that you already had your eye on and speak to them like being that it's free pussy? Because you know the dudes out here love free pussy. I ain't gonna say all dudes,
but they gotta be tested.
Exactly. So would you go through that whole process with people that you actually interested in personally instead of going for like?
No, because I need to know that they can perform on camera too, because not every guy can perform on camera.
That's big. That's a big fact. It's a big fact. A lot of guys do say, like, if they're around other men and stuff like that, it's not going to make, you know what I'm saying? You can't really think it too much. Or
that's why you got to make sure that you have established talent in order to do a gangbang.
That's a fact. So I was really interested in the fact that they have this whole system with the getting tested process and everything. So I just want you to elaborate just a little more on that. TTS, what does that mean again?
That's the talent testing service. So if you go to talenttestingservice.com, they'll give you a list of draw locations. And when you go there to do a full panel, they take your blood and your urine and test you for the whole gamut of STDs and make sure that you're clean and ready to perform. And generally you need to do that every 2 weeks. So it really adds up. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's $190 if you live in one of the cities where you can go there and do it. Otherwise, you need to pay for shipping, to, like from a local draw facility to the main draw facility.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And yeah. Okay, well, that's that for the people that don't know. If you want to get into the industry and stuff like that, you got to make sure you have your bag right. You know what I'm saying? Because what you gonna do if you can't get your testing in, and people like, nah, she not tested, he not tested, I can't fuck with them and shit like that. You lose an opportunity. So make sure you got your money right. And if not, is there any other what other ways with somebody that want to get into the industry that may not be able to do that right away? What would you recommend somebody do to build their portfolio or build their, just build their presence online or whatever the case is?
Just start filming yourself having sex with your partner. Yeah, like you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. Just start filming it. That's the best way to get into the industry in the first place, because even for guys, like they're gonna want to see if you can do it on camera.
Right.
They want to know if you can get it up, if you can keep it up, if you can come on command. Those are three things that you need to be able to do, and it's really hard for a lot of guys. You need to come on command.
Whoa, come on command.
Yeah,
it's hard to come sometimes just by coming. Come on command. Wait, I ain't go. You know what? You saying that is funny because I remember this one time I paid for pussy, right? And I was fucking shorty, and she, a lot of girls. I would say like a lot of women that do escorting and stuff like that in different spots or whatever. I don't know if it's a thing. I'm just gonna just be 100% honest. Let's be honest. Like when they see the black guys come in, they be like, oh, or they might charge you a little more. They might not want to do it or whatever and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was this one girl. It kind of was like, I guess hurting her a little bit, so she wanted me to hurry up and come. And I'm like, damn, I done spent this chicken on this. It's not even fun no more because now I gotta hurry. But I definitely did come within a little amount of time she said she had left in her. She said, I had like 1 more minute, Pop. I'm like, I could have stretched it, but then again, I don't want to, ruin. I done took all the time to come and bust this nut. I don't want to catch the attitude vibe after that. I'm already in the pussy. Like, let me just bust this nut. But coming on time, that's crazy. I see sometimes when they cut the scenes, though.
Yeah, they'll cut the scene and ask you, can you pop? Are you ready to pop?
Are you ready to pop?
Yeah.
Is you ready to pop?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the women, when it comes to you, do you squirt?
I do, but not all the time. Like, you have to really get in there in the right position and do the right thing in order for me to squirt. But it's a lot easier, like, if you're getting into the G-spot and, you want to be just the right size to get it. Otherwise, you're too big or too small, and it's like...
Right.
Or fingers can do it, or...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, give a specialty that you do, that you feel like your own little specialty when it comes to being, intimate in whatever situation you are. What's your specialty that you feel like something that you do that whoever you fucking with, I like that about her. I like that she does that.
I can take a dick all the way to Narnia down the back of my throat.
Right to the back. Like, stop playing. That's very important because a lot of women don't understand. Like, we could talk about it all the time for years, decades, centuries about sucking dick and girls talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good at it. I'm not that good at it. I don't really care about it. Like, when you really know how to suck a dick, not all girls can put this shit in the back of their throat. But when you really know how to do it and you sloppy with it, you be sloppy with your shit. Like, you don't give a fuck. You go crazy, See? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Go to her website, matter of fact. Tell them about your website.
Curvymary.com. I have a video on there. It's a sloppy POV blowjob where I do take the dick all the way back to Narnia. So that's right on there, curvymary.com.
Right. Nah, so what does POV stand for? I always see it.
A point of view.
Oh, I never knew that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I watch porn.
We're gonna erase that one, bro.
Yo, I swear to God, I watch porn a lot. This is grabber water, by the way. I don't know I know you see a lot of brown shit that's going into the weed and shit like that. It's up to you if you want to smoke it. It's tobacco. It's like I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like a leaf. It's like a natural leaf that's like pretty much dried up and crushed up in this form. That's so they put it in. Sometimes you get the full leaf, you can rip it out, burn it, and then put it. But that's what I put. So I just want to let you know before you choose to pass. I'm gonna pass if you want it. It's all you. But POV, I watch a lot of porn. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, since I was a little kid, I watched a lot of porn. I remember it was a time actually. I think like my mom or I think my little brother was about to come in. I forgot what happened, and I'm just watching porn. I took the porn. It was like DVD style, so I pressed the thing, took the DV out, threw it under the thing, changed the channel, then changed all the shit, made sure everything was good. By the time they walked in, from a few steps, everything looked, what's going on? Like, I don't care. I'm on point, nigga. If I'm watching porn, I ain't trying to get caught up and shit like that, because it's an intimate moment. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason we watch porn. It's an intimate moment for you. Unless you with your partner or with, you know what I mean, whoever, and you watch your porn trying to get in the mood and shit like that. For me, it's personal. I got to make sure I take my time alone. That's why I was saying, like, when it comes to the toys, fellas, if you got a lady, like, I've had times I fucked like 3 times inside of a day and still bust a nut to get that 4th nut out. You know what I'm saying? So don't be shy when it comes to your porno, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, being alone in your own space, doing what you do, because there's no rules to the, you know what I mean, earth and shit like that. And Mary already know that. That's why she's in the fucking game doing what she love to do. You know what I'm saying? And when did you really find out you love to do this? Like, this is your vibes, like.
I would have to say pretty much on that first trip to Vegas to shoot, like, I realized that I really enjoyed doing it. Like, I was doing 2 scenes a day.
2 scenes a day, okay.
That I had all booked out.
Does that stretch the pussy out? Or, like, does it retract out? Like, what's the difference in thicker women's pussy compared to, like, skinnier women's pussy? Like, would you be able to take more out a day and it, like, constricts faster? Or, like,
well, I mean, the reason that they generally shoot big girls with big dicks is because you need a big dick to show, like, the dick going in and out when you have that much more ass.
Right. Makes sense.
And as a result of having more ass, we can take bigger dicks.
Right. Okay.
So
wait, so you saying because your ass is fatter, you could take big dicks, or you personally? Because it's some girls that they have the most fattest ass, or be the most thickest sometimes, and might not be able to really take the, like, is that for you and probably like a select few, or you really would say that's like the majority of thick women? Like,
I think that there would be the majority of thick women, but okay. I would say that if you can't take a big dick and you're a thick girl, there's probably another reason. It's probably something that is to do with you personally that's different, you know, what you can handle, what you like, that sort of thing, or maybe you're just not into it.
Right. So what's your size? What's your preference? Like, what would you prefer? Give me a between, though, because you don't want to make nobody feel too bad. Give me a in between numbers. Like, what's a valid number to begin with and a valid number to end with?
Between 7 and 10 is the sweet spot.
Oh, she went 7 and 10. Niggas usually go, like, I usually be hearing people say, okay, between like 6 to 8. She said 7 to 10. Thick women out there, salute to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, when it comes to the type of guys that you would prefer, would you prefer, and trust me, I'm not going to feel no type of way. Would you prefer taller, your size, shorter? Is it depending on their dick size? Is it depend on, like, their body type? Does it depend on, like, how they look? Like, would you
personality, prefer? Honestly. Okay. Personality is most important for me, and then dick size after that. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta rock that boat, man. You gotta rock that boat.
Yeah, you gotta be able to keep me happy in that department.
That you keep Mary happy. You know what I'm saying? She out here got her new website up and shit. Yep, teaching you shit, POV. She, you know what I mean? Showing you how to suck a good dick. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you learn from her. You know what I'm saying? Take some tips from her. Now, is there anything that you would want to speak about that maybe a little bit more, like, it was personal for you maybe in the past and you never spoke about it, but now that you're in a more, you know, more open area, space in your life when it comes to it, that you would want to tell, like, your audience, or like, or something that could be beneficial for anybody to hear?
I think I've been getting a lot of requests lately for, you know, people who want to be clients just because they want to film it. And I'm not going to do that for cheap. Nobody's going to do that for cheap. You know, you need to just start filming yourself having sex with your partner. Simple. You keep the money in the family. Yes. Well, I don't want to say family because that's keep the money in the circle, you know what I'm saying? And people love the incest shit, though. Yeah, they do. It's a crazy... It's a place I don't go, right. But people love it. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing, too. Like, I for everybody. Exactly. It's like... In this world, you can't, it's like, you can judge all day, but I think there is no rules to this world, you know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do, whatever make you feel comfortable, whatever make you feel happy, you do that. And it's simple as that. And if you still worried about what people thinking, after a certain amount of times going through, you know what I mean, heartbreak or bad feelings from worrying about people thinking about you, then you in the wrong space in your life, and you need to get to the right space. So, you know what I mean? Once again, have energy like how Mary got.
she seems happy, she do her thing. I'm sure you go through your downs, you know what I'm saying, and everything, but for the most part, you try to just keep your energy good.
Yeah.
And that's important. So what about, speaking of energy, I think this is extremely important as well, which probably would be a lot of things people talk about. When you having sex with somebody, especially if it's raw sex, they energy enters you and your energy, you know what I mean, bounce off. So when it comes to that, are you in those realms, spiritual realms, as far as like, do you care about, does it take a toll as far as like taking in somebody's energy? Does any of that play a part in your life?
I mean, I think it's good to come at things with having good energy always, but you know, I don't really delve much into the spiritual personally. Okay. I'm an atheist.
Okay.
I was raised Catholic, which means I'm an atheist now.
You said which means? That's so crazy how that shit work. Look.
Catholic school takes it out of you. They beat the God out of you.
Damn. Overkill. Come on, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So, shit. Or you know what's crazy? How do you feel about, and if it you know what I mean, how do you feel about people that are in culture, like it's like the girl Mia Khalifa, or she's like, I think she's like Arabian or she's like Indian or something like that, and I heard something about
she was very popular. She shot like a handful of scenes, and then she became really popular really fast, and like right when she left, and she never wanted to shoot again.
Oh, she just personally chose to not want to do it anymore. Was it? Do you like? Is the thing about like cultures? You know how cultures is real strict on that type of stuff. Like, does that? Do you see anybody going through issues like that inside the industry, or pretty much everybody just like, I do what the fuck I want to do type shit?
I think a lot of sex workers do have mental illness issues. Like I do myself. Like I deal with depression and all of that, and I think a lot of the reason why there's a higher incidence of mental illness in sex work is because of the loose schedule that it affords to work for yourself. And you know, you get to choose what times you do work, and you can take a day off if you need to, but you need to always be looking out for your bag and make sure that you know you are still working on a regular basis.
Right.
Yeah.
So you feel like it pays good, and I want to jump into the depression thing for 2 seconds. I don't want to go too dark and shit like that, but I think it's important. It's extremely important.
Yeah.
I just said before I want to go into that. What I said I wanted to do. I said I wanted to.
Let's cut right here.
Nah, we don't gotta cut. Nah, it's all good. Let that shit rock. Let that shit rock. Hey, did you remember what I just said? Or did
you spoke so. You know how we speak so fast sometimes you forget what the fuck you say.
Yeah, I know what I said, and if y'all wanted to answer that, don't worry about it. We're gonna just keep going.
We're basically saying we're definitely gonna go. We don't want to get too dark. We're definitely gonna retouch on the mental health issue thing. That's very important. And you had another topic you wanted to dive into around that.
Yeah. Like, I know. Right? Did you remember? All right, cool.
Yeah,
so
that
don't worry about
right.
it. No, yeah, but whatever I was about to talk about, don't worry about it. But diving into the depression thing, like, where do you think that can possibly come from, aside from personal life stuff? Because everybody got their personal life stuff that they go through, and people get depressed for different reasons. But as far as the porn industry, do any depression come from maybe perhaps like after a scene goes out? You overlooking and looking like, damn, I don't really like that as much, and do you start rethinking like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, how I look, because you know when we naked, not everybody feels. I mean, it's only probably like 2% of people on the earth that really feels 100% comfortable with their body naked in front of other people. So, like anything as far as porn and that cause any type of depressing vibes.
I would say that it's more social media than anything else. Because you're seeing what everybody else is up to, their photos, comparing yourself to them, your success to theirs, your life to their life, and it's like the fallacy of like Facebook being a highlight reel of everything. Like sex work, Twitter, and IG is really like a highlight reel. You need to remember that.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Is there any questions that you don't normally ask men that you might? Question that you might want to ask, feel free to ask me something real quick. What question? What random ass question? Because you possibly.
I have a question.
Yeah, what question you got?
Touching back into what you said, I wanted to ask you, like, because you said it's about personality and character when you actually choosing certain people, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if you meet somebody and their character is one way, and then you get a different vibe from them during the actual scene. Has that been something that may have affected you? Like they like kind of just turn into this just keep plowing thing, or everybody's directed or guided into what they have to do?
We discuss ahead of time how the scene's going to go and what we're going to do, like down to like. Usually the way I discuss the scene is like I break it into 5-minute chunks. So we're gonna do 5 minutes of this position, 5 minutes of oral this way, 5 minutes of this, and everything is discussed ahead of time. And that's the way you should be doing it if you're not doing it.
Right.
Like it's like it's all discussed ahead of time what you're gonna do. There's nobody that just turns on the camera, starts rolling and having sex, because you need to plan ahead of what you're actually gonna have to make sure you have good content. So everybody has discussion.
Pre-production before the actual scene.
Yeah,
that's dope. So I never thought that would happen. So like, and keeping that same understanding. So has there been anybody that you've actually discussed things with, planned things out, and then it got to the point, and then they just did their own thing? Has that ever happened?
Fortunately not.
Okay.
But like there are people that their energy in person is different than it like you expect it to be.
Right.
But I've never like had like a dangerous like situation, because one of the things that you need to make sure you do before you do a trade scene is what we call it, when you just meet up to like film a scene with people.
Background check.
Yeah, you get references from other people that they've shot with.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so it's like, especially the girls are really into it, because, as women, we want to make sure we look out for ourselves and each other. We, like, look through their social media and see, oh, they've shot with these people, I'm going to hit them up and see, if this person's safe. You just ask them, are they safe to shoot with?
It's important.
You don't ask for a review of it or anything like that. That's not professional. You just ask, are they safe?
So please, I want to make sure we dive into that. Make sure your references is correct. You trust your references enough to make a valid decision on when to deal with somebody. If you're getting into it, just make sure you be safe, please, in all aspects. Protection if you need to, making sure paperwork is correct, following up on things, everything. I'm sure there's way more stuff she could tell you than me, but just please be safe. Please.
Paperwork is a whole other fucking rabbit hole to go down right now too. Paperwork is constantly changing.
So what changes in that realm? Give me like a little brief.
So the new thing is that all the different clip sites are now requiring their own like paperwork for their individual site. Which
by the way, I would have passed you the blunt, but I know you talking, so I was like,
it's okay. It's difficult like to get all the paperwork in line, because it's like if I want to put it on this site, I need paperwork for this one and this one, this one, this and this one, which is overkill.
So for instance, like for site A, I would need paperwork A1, A2, A3, but for site B, I would only need A1 and AC, but AC don't have.
No, it's like it's the specific paperwork just for that site. So it's like instead of blanket paperwork like we used to do, you need it for OnlyFans, you need it for many vids.
Sorry to cut you off. What does that paperwork consist of?
A 2257 is the paperwork that we generally fill out a model release.
Okay.
For filming, and it has to specify that you're doing pornography for sure. There's apps out there that until recently a lot of us used, but now everything is returning back to paper. They want physical copies, and they want pictures of you holding next to your face,
right,
with your ID.
Cash App shit.
They're making it as like difficult as possible.
It's like taking your blood at the same time.
Yeah, and your firstborn child,
So what about There's I actually wanted to ask something else, but my mind got thrown into like crypto, because I started thinking about like payments and stuff like that. Does anybody take like? Do you know people taking payments of this in crypto?
I haven't heard of anybody doing crypto, but I've been paid for scenes, the Cash App, Venmo, all that.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, however you get your money, get your motherfucking money. You heard?
Something that I've considered is going into broadcasting. Okay. I do a lot of like podcast interviews. I do a lot of radio and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I have my own podcast through A Love Media called Dangerous Curves. So you go to curvymarylinks.com. There's a link directly to my podcast page on the A Love Media site. Mm-hmm. But on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern is when we generally drop the new episodes.
I'll be watching.
And it's on demand anytime at alovemedia.com. You can also watch it live when it's streaming the preview, or on demand on Amazon Fire Stick or Roku.
Shout out A Love Media, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll be seeing a lot more of us, man. Shout out A Love Media, and I appreciate you. And a lot of questions that, you know what I mean, I probably wanted to figure out myself that I just started asking, you got to answer. So I appreciate that, and I hope we got to answer a decent amount of questions for the audience and everything. Is there any last things that you think I probably should, touch on before?
Just the state of like you said, as far as I think dating, because you said you had to deal with the whole.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're even interested in when it comes to that? Do you know a lot of people in the industry?
Yeah,
that deal with that situation?
dating is an interesting topic. There's a lot of people who will only date people in the industry because they understand better what your life is like.
Nah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like my boyfriend is a photographer in the industry, so he understands, what I have going on, and we help each other with connections and that sort of thing.
Dope.
But a lot of people will just like talent date each other.
Right. Okay.
And it's hard to date what people often call like a civvy or a normal person, or there's different terminology that people use.
Is anybody normal nowadays? Shit.
But it can be hard to date like when you are in the industry because people don't necessarily understand the sexual ramifications of it. A lot of people have different arrangements. Some people are just like anything goes. Some people are like, okay, the only you're monogamous outside of work.
Right.
And that's like the arrangement I mostly have. Like I'm okay to play around with girls with like pre-authorization.
play around in the playground, you know?
But yeah, like it's like he wants to be involved if possible.
Dope.
So
yeah, that matter of fact, that is. Do you enjoy? So obviously you have you have threesomes and stuff like that with your significant other and stuff like that. So so when that process is going, do you pay more attention to him, or you pay a lot of attention to the girl and let him do his thing?
I'm paying more attention to the girl. She's the guest star of the show. So and I'm enjoying the opportunting and hospitality and all that. But
sure, you came here to entertain us. Respect this and entertain us. That's it. That's dope.
Yeah, there's a scene in Sex and the City where they're talking about threesomes, and they're like, you always want to be the guest star, not one of the regular series regulars.
Right.
So
makes it a little
I have
hard.
a question for you. So when you're in a threesome with a significant other and you invite another female, do you find yourself like being the general guiding her to what your man likes, or is this he gets in where he fits in? Because I know a lot of guys find that kind of like if they woman could say, hey, tell the other girl, be like the general, hey, sergeant, lick that nut, or lick that nipple, or lick that earlobe. Like, is that the place you find yourself in the opposite situation?
No, it's more like having a discussion ahead of time and agreeing on the person, but also, guys, if you want your girl to have a threesome, you need to let her pick the person.
Facts.
Yeah.
You can't be walking in like, hey, babe, look, I got
something. Yeah,
you gonna get shot.
It don't fit the same too. Yeah, I definitely salute to that. That's a fact, though. Yeah, that's a fact. And then she know what she likes, she know what she wants.
Yeah.
And another important thing too, like when it comes to threesome, like it'd be like, no matter, like I be wanting to make sure, cause I want to go in raw. Like I don't want to, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like I want to make sure she tests exactly, like if we doing it, cause I want to make sure I want to go in raw. I want my dick to just be in both of y'all. You know what I'm saying. I want to be in both. I want to be able to just dive in this and then dive in that and know that everything is nice and good. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, you know what I mean. That's my vibe.
Well, that's something that people don't understand about the industry, is that generally we are a lot better about getting tested than normal people are, because we have to do it every 2 weeks. So we always know our status, and it's important to #know your status, at all times. Like, I think normal people need to be getting tested like every month or two at least.
Yo, people don't be going
first date. Like,
yeah.
I'll meet you at the.
No, like with past boyfriends before I was in the industry, I'd be like, okay, if you want to start having raw sex, you need to go get a test and show it to me. So. Because they all want to drop the condoms really fast.
Shit.
As soon as the label goes on, they want to drop the condom.
early. Niggas do not play. There's a lot of females though. I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of girls that also, you know what I'm saying, be like just letting it, like they won't even like say nothing, like it'd be like, oh, like I should actually go get one now, cause you. But nah, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it depends on like who you dealing with. Like sometimes you can catch somebody vibe in person and shit like that. And just by the way they act and shit, you can never really 100% know, of course. But it'll help sway your, you know what I mean? Your ideas on them and be like, okay, I think they probably good enough to be able to just take this chance on and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess you're supposed to take a chance every now and then. Why not? Right?
I've been to the crap table way too many times. I'm too old for that. Where your papers at?
I think it's good to get tested no matter what. Like, if you're sexually active, you should be getting tested regularly, even if you're not in the industry. Because, you know, you want your partners to be happy and healthy, and you want to be happy and healthy, and you want to...
Not worrying about shit.
Yeah, not worry.
Chilling.
Yeah.
So, got it. You know what I'm saying?
Say that
Safety
site
first.
again for those who really want to find out what it is.
TalentTestingService.com. And my website is CurvyMary.com.
Yes.
And CurvyMaryLinks.com takes you to all of my links, all of my social media. My Dangerous Curves podcast link is on there. And if anybody wants to hit me up, you know, for scenes, whatever, all the info's there.
It's there, man.
We're going to do one more plug. So we're going to have you plug that again so I can have it twice just in case clear.
All right, cool. So, where can everybody find you, and finish telling them everything you need to tell them to make sure they tune in?
And know where to find you at.
Yes. So, CurvyMaryLinks.com has all my links to my websites, my podcast, Dangerous Curves, my social media, email, all of that good stuff is there. And anybody who's interested in getting into the industry, check out TalentTestingService.com to get tested on the industry standard, because it just makes things so much smoother if you use the right provider.
Talk that talk. We're going to have it in the description. I appreciate you for coming once again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Playground, man, on Smash. Of course.